Faceless grind, I'm paving my lane. Me 2 times, yeah, we changing the game. Elevate me to you, Bob's brand new. Built it from scratch, now we teaching you. Hit that sub, let the vision come true. This ain't just content, it's what we do.
Welcome in, everybody. We're gonna start on creating some presentations designs.
Welcome to part 8 of the Build Your Brand series. Today, we're focusing on one of Canva's most powerful but underused tools, presentations. Whether you're creating a workshop, a product pitch, a training session, or a faceless slide-based video, your slides need to do more than just look good. They need to tell a story. In this video, you'll learn how to avoid the most common presentation design mistakes, add interactive elements like charts and graphs, deliver or record your presentation directly from Canva, keep things clear, branded, and engaging. Let's get into it. Before you build your slides, let's make sure you're not setting yourself up to lose your audience. In this section, we'll cover 4 common design mistakes that can ruin even a great message, and how to fix them quickly using Canva's layout tools and design tips.
Are people in your audience almost breaking their jaw while yawning during your presentations? If yes, you need to listen carefully to this lecture. Now, before I start, I want to let you know that the 4 tips in this lecture are inspired by a very famous SlideShare deck called You Suck at PowerPoint by Jesse Desjardins. So basically, the credit should go to him, to Jesse, and his awesome presentation. So what we'll be doing in this lecture is to review each of these 4 design mistakes and see how we can avoid them in our future presentations. Okay, so the first mistake is to use too much information on your slides. Many presenters have indeed that tendency to overcharge their slides with too much information, very often text. There is no point in creating slides that relate word for word what you're saying during your presentation. If you're going to do this, you might as well consider writing an ebook instead of giving a presentation. Think about it. If your audience is busy reading what you wrote on your slides, there is a good chance they're not really listening to what you're saying. So why are you even standing there? Plus, remember, your audience doesn't like to read. Hitting them with text-heavy slides is the best way to lose their attention. A great rule to live by is to keep one main point per slide. Keep it short and sweet. Do the hard work of synthesizing your point into 1 or 2 powerful keywords instead of pouring a bunch of text into your slide. You've got to learn the art of getting rid of anything that is not necessary. Instead, try to turn that data into something easy to grasp for your audience, like a visual comparison or statistics. The second mistake is that your slides don't have enough visuals. To quote Jesse Desjardins, your slides should deliver big punches with strong visuals. And Canva is just perfect for that because of its huge media library. And if you are a Canva Pro user, you'll have access to almost unlimited photos. The Canva Pro landing page currently mentions 100 million items in that library. And if this is not enough for you, or if you don't want to pay to use Canva, you can use free stock image websites like Pexels, Unsplash, or Pixabay. Just be careful about grabbing whatever images on Google and pasting them into your presentation, as most of these images are protected by a copyright. Using beautiful and relevant visuals will bring your presentations to life. Here are a few additional tips to help you find the right visuals for your presentations. Number 1, remain consistent. Try to come up with a theme or maybe a style of visuals and stick with it. One example would be to go for grayscale photos with contrasty colors for your text or your text overlays. Number 2, make them big. Keep in mind that you are designing for the person who is sitting at the back of the room. So if it's unreadable or too small, just don't use it. Number 3, avoid cheesy stock images. Always prefer real-life photos, or if you have to use stock images, don't fall for the cliches. Number 4, find high-resolution visuals. You don't want your slides to look like a 1990 video game now, do you? Well, if you don't, make sure your images are of good enough quality. Now, Moving on, the third mistake is to produce crap. Indeed, you don't want crappy slides now, do you? If you want to make a good impression, invest some time and money into great design and visuals. And Desjardins explains in his presentation that there are basically two different ways to creating these great designs. The first way is to buy it, meaning you will invest money into professional images, maybe fonts, and maybe even a professional designer that will create the presentation for you. That is, if you have more budget. And the second way is to steal it, meaning you'll have to reverse engineer other people's presentations that you find beautiful. And by taking them apart, element after element, you will eventually figure out how they were created. And I would add a third point to this list, which is number 3, you start with a Canva template. Indeed, starting from a presentation template from the Canva library will give you a huge advantage. And that is because the heavy lifting of choosing a nice font combination, an interesting composition, maybe some photo filters for your visuals, or even an attractive color palette has already been made for you by a qualified designer. We live in a wonderful time. All right, guys, let me share something else I learned with you. One of the quickest ways to produce beautiful design is to use beautiful fonts. Fonts are really important for presentations, so take time to analyze what Canva has in store for you. Do your research on the Canva website. They have a ton of interesting resources when it comes to font pairing or font combination. Also, remember that Canva Pro lets you upload your own fonts. That could be very useful if you have purchased a specific font for your company or for your brand. The fourth mistake is that your designs are all over the place, meaning they are neither balanced nor consistent. Desjardins calls this point visual vomit in his original deck, which is a little bit disgusting, so we will stick with all over the place. One thing that many non-designers don't understand very well is that white space or empty space is a good thing. People who are just getting started with design, who haven't studied about design, think they need to fill up that space and not waste all of that good empty space on their slides. And that's a huge mistake. White space helps you draw the attention of your audience to specific elements or messages on your slide, so use it wisely. Alignment is also very important. Indeed, alignment is what will help you achieve balance in your design. And once again, Canva is perfect for that because it uses an elaborated system of assisting grids and lines to help you align the elements of your design. So use them. Finally, consistency is what will help you step up your game and create very powerful presentations. You want to be consistent with the fonts you use, your color palette, the size of your titles, subtitles, and text body, the layout of your slides, the style and filters you apply to your photos, etc. What you're trying to achieve is cohesiveness, smoothness, and a strong visual consistency. And you can also play around with these different features like colors or layouts to divide your presentations into recognizable sections. So that's it, guys. These are the 4 common design mistakes presenters do over and over with their presentations. This is what we want to avoid. In the next lecture, we are going to start organizing our ideas so we can come up with a nice deck of wow slides.
Let's take a second to plan. If you've ever jumped straight into Canva and got stuck halfway through a presentation, this one's for you. We'll talk about what to map out before you start designing, including your goal, audience, flow, and content types, so you're not overwhelmed mid-slide.
Hey guys, welcome back to the course. In this lecture, we are going to talk about all the different things you have to sort out, you have to decide on before you start creating your slides. Okay, so we are going to start from what we've learned from the previous lecture and from Desjardins' presentation, You Suck at PowerPoint. Our objective for this section of the course is to create a pitch deck presentation for Penetrate Connection. And that is a series of slides, 10 slides to be precise, that will help us pitch our big idea. So let's start with a little definition. A pitch deck presentation is a visual support you will use to pitch your business idea to different kinds of people. It could be investors, potential investors. It could be just a friend who you want to get on board. It could be your mother. It could be anybody really you want to present your business idea to. Okay, now that we know what a pitch deck is, let's briefly summarize what we've learned in the previous lecture about the 4 common presentation mistakes and creating good slides. So first, we've seen that we should really streamline our slide, and therefore we will stick with one main idea per slide. Next, we will cut our text to the bare minimum. Instead of using text, we will try to come up with visual representations of the concepts, of the points we want to discuss on each particular slide. So we will cut the text to the bare minimum. Next, we are going to make these slides visual. Since we will be using less words, we need to carefully select our images, finding strong images that will help us convey our message. Next, we are going to make them big and bold, because we are designing these slides for the guy who is sitting over there at the back of the room. Also, we want to remain consistent. We want to have a cohesive set of slides and portray professionalism with our presentation, show that our brand is strong. So for this, we will be choosing and then sticking to a specific color palette. In our case, we will be using the Fairtrade Connections color palette that we have developed at the beginning of the course. But feel free, obviously, to use your own color palette. We will also remain consistent by choosing and using a specific style of imagery throughout our entire pitch deck. So for this one, it doesn't have to necessarily be the exact same style that you define in your brand style guide. It's really up to you. Just don't feel limited to what you previously decided in your brand style guide. It is okay to diverge from that guide, especially when creating a presentation. So feel free to select another kind of imagery style. What's important is not so much the style of imagery you decide to use, the kind of filters you'll be applying, if it's black and white or if it's full of colors, if you use color overlays. This stuff doesn't really matter. What does matter, once you have determined what kind of visual style or imagery style you will be using, is that you stick to it. So pick a style and do stick to it. Another component of this consistent visual identity is the typography or the fonts you will be using. So we are going to select a couple of fonts that we will be using in our presentation. And here again, you don't have to be using the exact same fonts that you mentioned in your brand style guide at the beginning of the course. Indeed, your brand style guide contains the overall rules for your brand. It is your reference book. But it doesn't mean you have to limit yourself to using only these fonts for your design project, especially for presentations. That would be pretty sad. Consider the fonts in your brand style guide like your main fonts, maybe the ones you will be using on your website, your social media banners, or on your official documents. However, when you create a presentation, feel free to break a little outside of this mold and use different fonts if you feel like it. I believe it's okay to do so. But, of course there is a but, what's important is to decide on 2 to 3 fonts we will be using consistently across all the slides in our pitch deck. And finally, we will pay close attention to the alignment and the empty spaces in our slides so that people can focus their attention on what's important on these slides. All right, so these are the guidelines. Let's keep all of that in mind when we will be designing our slides. One more thing we need to talk about is the aspect ratio of our presentation. When you are on the Canva homepage and you type in presentation in the search bar, you should see 2 different options there, or 2 different formats popping up. The first one is the 16:9 aspect ratio presentations, which has become the classic presentation format because it fits most screens perfectly, like our smart TVs, computer monitors, and smartphone in landscape mode. The resolution of the presentation in this case is 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is also the format of HD videos. And your second option is a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is basically the iPad format. And this document type has a resolution of 1024 by 768 pixels. Canva actually has a third option for presentations. To find it, you'll have to type in mobile first presentation. This format uses the 9:16 aspect ratio in 1080 by 1920 pixel. So it's the classic format, but inverted to look great on vertical screens. Now, I would say this format is ideal if you plan on using your phone to show your presentation to a friend or a colleague on the go. So, depending on where you are going to showcase your presentation, you have to choose one of these three options. I personally prefer the 16:9 aspect ratio, and that's because I work a lot with videos. So I can recycle my slides into my videos if I want to, and they will fit my screen perfectly. The 16:9 format is also the most appropriate one for both presenting on a smart TV or via Zoom or other webinar platforms. Something else to consider about this format is that they give you the most space to design your slides. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with 16:9 presentations. Some people, maybe those who are out for funding and really need to always have their pitch deck with them, could prefer to create their presentation so it looks great on their iPad, in which case they should use the 4:3 aspect ratio. Others might prefer to have their pitch deck in their smartphones, and in that case, they will go for the mobile-first presentation that fits a vertical screen nicely. So unless you want to do that, I highly recommend you choose, like me, the 16:9 aspect ratio presentation to follow along and design your pitch deck presentation with me during the next lectures.
Need to show results or explain a process? This is where charts and graphs can make your data or steps easier to follow. In this section, I'll show you how to add bar charts, line graphs, and visual breakdowns inside Canva, without overcomplicating your slides.
How fun was it to create our pitch deck with Canva? I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. In this lecture, we are going to talk about data visualization and about all the different tools Canva has to offer to help us tell a story with our data. I will not be building up on top of what we have created so far, but instead simply use a blank presentation to show you all the possibilities Canva has in store for us to add charts and graphs to our slides. Alright, so Canva offers two really powerful features to help us visually represent data. The first one is its template library. If you search for keywords such as data presentation or chart or even visual charts presentation in the templates tab of the Canva editor, Canva will show you a bunch of templates to get you started with data visualization. And I particularly recommend these ones with the blue colors. And you can go through them either from within the editor, or another option would be to search for them from the templates library. So for that, let's head back to the Canva homepage, click on templates here on top and type in your keywords. When you find a template that you like, click on
Thank
the
you,
three
Pink,
little
for the
dots
cash
and
out.
select
Thank
Preview
you.
this template. This will let you flip through the different pages of the template, see the colors and the fonts used in the template, but also browse more presentations similar to this one, thus discovering more options. Also, and this is quite useful, at the very bottom of this preview, you will see a list of tags. So use these tags to discover more content in the Canva library. These are your keys to unlock more good stuff. So let's find a template that we like that contains charts. I will go for this one that has a bunch of graphs in it. Let's apply all 10 pages of this template to our document and explore these graphs. I can see here on page 1 some simple line charts. If I click on one, Canva shows me this menu where I can edit the data from this chart. From here, I see that I can also import my data from a Google Sheet, which is really useful. So there are actually two ways of importing your data from a sheet. The first one is to connect your Canva account to your Google account by using this button right here. I'm not going to do this now, but if you follow the steps, it's a very straightforward process. And the other option, which is my preferred one, is to simply paste the data from your spreadsheet into this box right here. I will start by clearing the existing data from this chart, and then I will go to my sheet, copy the data, and then paste it here in this box. Good. Now let's zoom in on that chart to see what happened. Now this data represents our YouTube channel's audience and where viewers are watching from. So a line chart is probably not the best type of graph to represent this type of information. So let's see what other types of charts Canva has for us. To change the type of chart, you can click on the little arrow here next to the Edit button. And now I can choose between a lot of different chart types. I think a bar chart or even a pie chart will be more appropriate to represent this data about our audience. So let's try that. I think the pie chart looks best. Let me copy this chart to a new page. Now, I want to show you a couple of options for customizing your chart. To see these options, you'll need to have your chart selected. First, you see that we have two tabs here on the left menu, Data and Settings. Data is where you can tweak your numbers or labels.
Thank you,
and
Motalk,
settings
for sending
will
the
give
cash
you a
out.
few
Thank
more
you. Love you.
personalization options, like how you want to show the values and whether or not you want to show the labels on your chart. Next, we have some other options here in the top bar. You can pick a different dominant color for your chart to match your brand, for example. At this stage, you can only pick one color, and Canva will select the other ones for you. You can change the font, its size and color, and you can also animate your chart, just like any other element in Canva via the Animate button right here. So this is when you use templates to create your data presentations. Templates are great because they already have that layout ready for you. Now, let me show you how to create charts from scratch for your presentation. So let's delete all these pages and start with a blank canvas. We are going to search for a tab that says Charts here in the Object panel. Yours might already be pinned in there, or if you cannot find it, look under the More tab. It should be there. Now, click on that Charts tab, and this is what you will see. These are all the types of charts and graphs that Canva lets you customize to represent your data. So let's quickly go through them. The first one here is a progress ring. This allows you to represent a percentage in the form of a ring. So you'll have a couple of sliders here to adjust the percentage, but also the weight of the line for your ring. You can decide to show or hide the percentage label in the center of your ring with this switch right here. And you can also decide whether you want rounded endpoints or straight ones with the last button here. Also, make sure to look at the top bar for more customization options like colors, fonts, and the animations. If you use the little arrow here on top, you will see different kinds of progress charts like progress bar, progress ring, radial progress, and progress dial. Let's come back to our Charts tab. The next thing I want to show you is this little figure icon right here. These are pictograms. They will let you use an icon and use that to represent proportions or statistics. First, you'll have to choose your icon. Let's go for this tree right here. Then use the slider to adjust your data. So if I want to show that 9 out of 10 trees have been planted in the last year, I will have the total item slider set to 10 and the filled items set to 9. And you can also play around with the spacing via this last slider right here. And just like for the other graphs, you can also adjust the colors. So let's make these trees green. There we go. And the rest of the charts are pretty straightforward. They will look pretty similar to what I've been showing you via the template. And this wraps up the lecture, guys. In the next one, I will show you how to add GIFs and embed all sorts of fun, interactive media into your Canva presentation. I will see you there.
Let's talk delivery. Once your presentation is done, how do you actually use it? Here's how to present directly from Canva. Use presenter notes and keep your flow clean and confident, whether you're teaching, selling, or storytelling.
Okay, so you have created a beautiful presentation with Canva. You've followed all the steps, you've avoided all the design mistakes we talked about, and your slides look gorgeous. So, where do we go from here? Do you download your slides and insert them into Power... Sorry, into... So I can say that word. How do you bring this piece of art into the world? How do you deliver your slides to your audience? In this lecture, we are going to look at all the different ways you can use Canva to present your slides to your audience. Okay, so for this, I'm going to come back to the Fairtrade Connection pitch deck I designed a little bit earlier in this section. When you use a presentation doc type, like this one for the pitch deck, you will see this button right here that says Present. So let's go ahead and click on that, as this is where we will find all our presenting options. The first thing I notice is that I do have a few options. I have Standard, which will allow me to navigate my slides at my own pace. This is what I would recommend you use. Next, there is Autoplay. That will play my slides automatically, and Canva will let you decide how long you wish to display each individual slide in your presentation. Now, that could be quite useful if you have a very strict amount of time to present your information, or if you have memorized your speech, for example. Next, we have Present to View, which I will cover into detail in just a few seconds. This mode will send you to a new space from which you'll have access to some handy features like the presenter notes. And finally, you'll have the option to present and record your presentation. This will let you talk over your presentation and record that as a video. I have an entire lecture about this specific feature, and it's coming right after this one. Okay, so these are your 4 presenting options. Let's try them all one by one. First, let's go for Standard. When I choose that option and then click on the purple Present button, the first slide of my presentation will be displayed full screen. I can see that my mouse cursor now has this turquoise Canva color highlight around it, so I can use that as a pointer on my slide. I can navigate my slides either by clicking on the left side of the slide to go back one slide, or by clicking on the right side of the slide to go to the next slide. You can also use your keyboard arrows to navigate the slides. If you hover your mouse over the lower part of the screen, you will see a menu showing up. From here, you can do the following actions. You can hit the play button to auto-play your presentation at the speed you have decided. Remember, the duration you can enter for each slide. You can use the previous and next arrows to navigate your slides, and you can also see on which slide you're on. Then, on the other side of that menu, you'll have a button for Canva Live, which allows you to crowdsource questions from your audience. When you click on that, Canva will invite you to start a new session. And when you do, it will generate a 6-digit code for you to share with your audience. And now, anybody that goes to canva.live, which is a website, can enter that code and ask a question. The presenter should then see the questions popping up right here on the right side. All right, so that sounds really cool. Let me show you how that works by using my phone. I'll just use my browser on my phone to connect to canva.live. Good. Now, I need to enter the 6-digit code, and I'm in. From here, I can decide to display my name or remain anonymous. I'll just write Diana for the example. Now I'll type in my question for the presenter. You can see that the question pops up in my window right here. And at this point, only the presenter can see it. The audience doesn't see it yet. If I want the audience to see Diana's question, I can click on the 3 little dots next to her question and click on Display Bigger. That will show the question on screen, so now the audience can see it. And this is great for Q&A, guys. And once I'm done answering the question, I can simply make it go away by using the X button. Meanwhile, on the other side, Diana can send the presenter a reaction for taking the time to answer her question live during the webinar, for example. She will be able to do that by tapping on the little heart icon next to the question field in Canva Live. Let's go ahead and try these emojis. See, they show up on screen for everybody to see. So that's how Canva Live works. I think this is a great little add-on for Q&As and for engaging your audience live. This can work for physical events as well as online ones. Thank you, Canva, for thinking about this. This is a great feature. Let's end this Canva Live session for now by clicking on the End button and continue exploring our presentation menu here at the bottom of our screen. The next button that I see says Open Presenter View. So let's click on that. When you do click on that button, Canva will do two things. One, it will redirect you to a new interface or a new space called the Presenter window. That's a screen for you to present and access your presenter notes. And the second thing Canva does is that it will open another window called the Audience window, which is what your audience will see. So that's what you're supposed to share via Zoom if you're running a webinar, or what you will project on your TV or your screen if you're presenting in a room. So make sure to find these two windows and understand what each of them are. Ideally, you have a second screen where you will have your audience window, and you should keep your presenter window on your main screen where your webcam is, so that you can read your notes while still looking at the camera. Now, if you present in front of a room, the presenter window is what you will have on your laptop in front of you. Okay, I think you get the point. Let's see what this presenter view has to offer. The first thing you'll notice in presenter view is that the screen will be split between your current slide, that's the biggest slide you'll see here, and your next and previous slides here at the bottom, kind of like thumbnails. The current slide will have this blue frame around it. So you can now navigate your slides by clicking on these thumbnails at the bottom. And I love that you can also use the little arrows to search for a slide and click on it to display it. No more scrolling through all your slides in front of your audience. And here on the right side, you have your notes. So this part of the screen is only for the presenter. The audience will not see these notes. Also, know that you can click on that separating line between your notes and the slides and drag it to make that note area wider. Now, this is the widest you can get, which is already pretty wide. So that's quite useful if you have a lot of notes. And you can edit these notes from here as well. Simply start typing. On top of your slides, you will see a clock with your local time, a timer that you can pause and reset, and a button with your magic shortcuts, which I'll cover in a second. So that's about it for the presenter view. I highly recommend you get familiar with this space for presenting. I've personally delivered dozens of webinars and in-person presentations and used this window, and it's really practical. Let's exit presenter view by using the X button. I want to show you where you can add your notes from the editor so that you can do so while designing your slides. For that, you have to look for the button that says Notes here underneath your slide thumbnail view. When you click on that button, you will open your note area here on the left side of your screen, where you can type in some notes, or you can copy-paste some notes. And these will show in the presenter view. So no need to save anything. When you're done typing or pasting, simply click elsewhere. You can add notes like this for any slide you want, and that's pretty convenient. Let's click back on the Present button and finish exploring the buttons there. I believe we have one more to go. Yes, this one right here that says Magic Shortcuts. When you click on that, Canva will show you a list of magic shortcuts. These are preset animations that you can trigger while presenting your slides by using your keyboard. So for example, the numbers from 1 to 9 on your keyboard will start a timer. 1 will start a 1-minute timer, 5 will start a 5-minute timer, etc. Now here are the other magic shortcuts. B will blur your slide. Q will prompt your audience to be quiet. O will bring up bubbles. C will make confettis rain. D will start a drum roll. U will open up and close down a curtain for a big reveal. And M will drop the mic. So these are pretty fun to use to create some sort of tension or impact on your audience. And I think I have covered it all. I hope you start to see the potential of using Canva to deliver your presentations. And in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to create a talking presentation.
Want to go faceless and still sound professional? You can record a voiceover and walk through your slides inside Canva. In this section, we'll go over how to set up your talking presentation, record with confidence, and export your video, perfect for YouTube, product trainings, or workshops.
One of the things that emerged from the 2020 global pandemic is the normalization of the decentralized workforce. It is now common practice for companies to have their designers located in Eastern Europe, their customer support team located in Asia, and their execs scattered around the world. And this, of course, generates a new set of challenges for these companies. How do you work with people located in 7 different time zones? How do you organize meetings? How do you coach your team? How do you communicate effectively? Companies like Zoom, Slack, or Canva have actually become stronger during this crisis. And that's because they were able to bring solutions to this new set of challenges that companies were facing. So let's look into that. Let's look at one feature in particular that Canva has developed and launched during the pandemic that aims at simplifying asynchronous communication. And I'm talking about the present and record feature for presentations. So this is our pitch deck. You should all be familiar with it by now. Let me show you how to use this present and record feature. We've seen where to find it in the previous lecture. It is right here under the present button. And by all means, if you don't see the present button, it might be because you're not using a presentation document. So make sure you are. So let's come back to our present button and choose present and record. Click on next and click on go to recording studio. Canva will now prompt you to set up your camera and microphone, so choose what's best for you. Note that you can decide to go without a camera and do audio only. If you want to do that, under the camera options, select no camera. Notice that what you see in the recording studio is very similar to the presenter window we talked about in the previous lecture, so you should already know your way around. You will see that you can also access your notes from here, just like in the presenter view. Okay, so when you're ready to start talking over your presentation, just click on Start Recording. You will see a countdown and then the recording will start. You will observe that your talking head is now in a floating bubble. So go ahead and deliver your presentation, providing all the information needed. You can pause the recording with the pause button if you need to read your notes or if you need to go to the bathroom, for example. Just don't forget to wash your hands when you come back. Use the resume button to resume the recording, and when you're done, simply click on Done. At this stage, Canva will upload your recording in the cloud and show you this window when it's ready. From here, you can copy the link of your recording and share that with someone to access your talking presentation from the cloud. You can download your presentation, so you'd have an actual video file. You can discard the whole thing and it will be deleted, or you can save and exit. Let's try using the link to see how it looks. I will copy it first and paste it in a new tab. I see that it's a video, so let's play it. Okay, so I see myself in the floating bubble, and obviously I see my slides in the background. But also, I see some dots on what seems to be a timeline. These dots represent the different slides I used in my talking presentation. And what's really cool is that I can click on any of these dots to jump to that part of the presentation. You can also use the forward and back buttons to navigate between the slides. So what else can we do? Oh, we can adjust the volume and the speed of the video. It ranges from 0.5 to 2x, so that's pretty convenient if you like to speed listen to videos and meetings. I love how simple that whole process was. You prepare your slides, head over to the recording studio, talk over your slides, and share the link. Super easy. If you decide to download your talking presentation, you will end up with a video file. Now, if you think, oh, I made some mistakes, I should have said that in a different way, and you're not happy about your delivery, you can always come back to the studio and record again. Simply go back to the Present button, hit Present and Record again, click Next, and here you will see the option to delete the recording. Note that you will have to delete the previous recording if you want to record a new one. So that's it. That is the Present and Record feature for presentations, which I believe is really powerful to deliver asynchronous training sessions or presentations. We have one more lecture to go in which I will show you how to turn your presentation into a website that you can share with your audience.
That's it.
Hey, Uno on the go. How you doing? Hi, everybody in the chat.
I'm in the back.
Oh, you up? Oh, hold on. Let me move the screen.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just trying to get some videos out. Breaking down Canva.
Right, it's cool. You know, I used to use Canva every day. I haven't used it like in 2 years though. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
use it every day, so I know a lot about it. You know,
Okay.
I know a lot about it too.
Yeah. It's about the only one that I'm kind of fluent in moving around and navigating. Then
Okay.
all the other editing softwares, I haven't really dived in much of the other ones. But I
Mhm.
love
I used
Canva.
to use it every day. I used to use Canva like with my other channels.
Uh-huh.
I used to use Canva for everything. I like especially when you have the paid version, you can get the certain logos, the certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And you could like kind of freak it, you know what I'm saying? But as of late, I swear to God, ever since I created my channel, I just been using like CapCut or like the free version, like for real. You know, but everything that I learned from editing, I learned a lot from Canva though.
Yeah.
Everything I learned from Canva, it helped me to use like all
The
the
other apps.
I swear to God, everything I really learned was from Canva. So
Yeah. I love it.
it's sweet. The way they
Yeah.
lay it out is real.
Yeah. And I pay for mines because I don't like searching for the free items, the free elements. So I
Mhm.
just go and pay and then I use it a lot. I use it almost every day. So it's like it was worth the money that I spent on it.
Yeah.
But they also give free trials like quite often. I done got so many free trials for 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but also besides just the Canva, we got to understand that we got to be able to use the AI apps. All right. So what I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
tell you out right now is a jewel, right? Right. So I understand SEO. So when I come out, I talk to you about SEO. I talk to y'all about search engine optimization.
Mm-hmm.
Show y'all about how YouTube, Google, and Facebook works together. So when we start to understand how the whole program work, then we're gonna understand how we need to work. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Feel me? Cool. So titling, like I said, titles are not based upon what you want to
What you
write a title as, right?
mm-hmm.
It's the way people search things, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna say something to y'all. Okay. So I want you to understand what I'm gonna say to y'all because I'm only gonna say it right here. You know, right?
Okay.
Cool. We not holding back nothing from none of us, right?
Correct.
Because we all just want to win. And that's the
Yeah.
goal, right?
And if somebody know an easier way,
Every
that's
one of us win, that's a win. Yes?
mm-hmm.
That's all we
Correct.
think about. That's simple. Any one of us win. It's a win for us. Simple.
Yeah.
You have to see us again. You won. That's it. You pushed us further.
Yeah.
So now when we understand this now, when we understand SEO, which is search engine optimization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Okay.
understand that I can take a AI app like Chat GPT
I love it.
and I can tell it all of the SEO that I want and what I want it to look for and what I want it to search for, right?
Okay.
I will make it do everything that I would actually do, so I don't have to do that no
Do it
more.
yourself.
Cool. I can make it go to Google Trends. I can make it search YouTube, the newest thing. I can say, I need you to tell me what's the most trending thing right now on June 13th. My mother.
Yeah.
And it's going to tell me right now. You hear me? And I'm going to tell it also to put that in hashtag forms for me, as well as my description and all the things that's in my description box. All right. I'm also going to tell it that I'm on YouTube, but if I'm on TikTok, I'll tell it that.
Yeah, tell it what app you're using, and
I'm
also
on
give it
YouTube.
a role too. Let them
Yeah.
know, like, act as a expert in this or a guru. You know, it'll help them.
Yeah, all of that, right? From YouTube's my app, so I understand the characters what YouTube has, and a
Okay.
title in a YouTube character is only 100 characters, right? So when I prompt it, I'm gonna prompt it in the way I'm gonna prompt it. I'm gonna tell it, listen to me. I want you to give me the most optimized title for this video because I'm gonna tell it what it's about. And I'm gonna tell you, make sure it's the most fully optimized it's gonna be. And I want you to make sure that it's 100 characters because that's all that a YouTube video can do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then I'll get into the description box on this app. You feel me?
Okay.
Listen to me, because I know this thing naturally, right? And I know how to write it naturally, but everybody's not savvy. So we're gonna have to come into a way. We're gonna have to use the program to be able to use it in a way as an extension of us, and we're gonna win more. Because
Yeah.
it's gonna help us to search this because this video that you're doing need more views. So that's why I'm saying this. Because even this video that you're doing now needs more views, it needs more viewership. And I want to see more viewership on it, right?
Yeah.
I told you the last time, you might have to 3-subject a title. I could tell it, look, I need a multi-subject title, and I need multi-keywords, and I need this shit fully optimized, bro. For real. Feel me?
Yeah.
So I might have to get a trending thing. So you could grab one trending thing that's currently trending right now. It could be gossip, it could be news. Add that to this title. Those people are gonna come and watch this video, which she's about to teach them. Okay. All she got to do is talk about that video a little bit in the beginning because YouTube registers how we talk. So you put the extra title in it because I put a 3-subject title. Let's say I got Corey Holcomb and Chris Webber. I got P. Diddy trial because I do Diddy trial. Then I got academics first, this guy. So that's a 3-subject title now. So now anybody that look for academics gonna find me. Anybody look for Diddy gonna find me. Anybody look for the other one, Chris Webber, they gonna find me. And I got an actual Canva tutorial on the end. So anybody that look for the Canva tutorial,
they're gonna find it.
But I want to make sure I put my Canva tutorial on that. Or sometimes we're gonna play with the title and we're gonna play with the description boxes, but we're gonna try to multi-keyword the title because it's gonna add searchability to it. So when a person comes to the video, think they coming for that, and I'm gonna put the thumbnail. The thumbnail gonna have 50 Cent, Chris Webber, all of that, and I might put the Canva logo, like some screen on it, so you ain't get shortchanged when you came. You seen the Canva thing there, but you seen 50. You seen the title. I might have to go into a 1-2 minute of that. Let's do it a 1-2 minute of the trending topic, and then after that, we're gonna teach them something. So let's start the beginning of the video with the trending topic, multi-keyworded, multi-search worded topics, right? Because it's multi-subject titles, right? It's this, it's that, and that. And all of those currently are top things that's being searched.
Yeah.
And my Canva tutorial is just at the end of that search. And I just want the SEO, and I just want this app I just want it to just make sure it does all the trending things and just add what I'm doing to the end of the title. That's it. And then we're gonna move more. There's gonna be more people in this chat, and that's how we're gonna start bringing people in. Because people come for things, because people come for people. They don't know what they come for in life too. By the time we get around each other, we say, God damn, I met a friend, right?
Yeah.
We don't know, but we got to bring people close enough to us to see
To
that.
even see that. Yeah.
To even see that, you know what I'm saying? So we need to expand the net. So when we expand the net is by making multi-subject titles. If I could fit 4 subjects in one title, I would. And I don't have to because I'm going to tell the fucking AI, listen, I want this, all of the things I just told you. I need all of that in that multi-keyword straight up and put all
under
of
this
that
amount of characters.
100 characters, bro.
Yeah.
And I keep prompting it till it get it right for me.
Yeah.
I can prompt the hashtags. I can prompt anything I want to prompt. Right? Yeah. So these are all the things. But at the end of the day, like I'm saying to you, keep doing what you're doing. But we need more people
to see
things, to see what you're doing. Because when I come and talk to you about some of the things that I really want to talk to you about,
okay,
because I'm gonna talk to you like I said behind the scenes, because you're gonna update your people.
Okay,
we gonna always update the people, right?
Yes, keep them up to date.
Yeah. But I can't step over nothing because I'm gonna update you just like I update them, right?
Okay,
cool. But this is your shit, so I gotta update you because this is yours, right? So God bless.
I appreciate the help.
My voice, and I will be back, and I will be talking to the queen and putting her on time and telling her anything I know, like I tell all of y'all. So just make sure y'all support her, because I support her every day. You heard?
Yes.
I love you, queen. I love you.
All right, thank you so much for your support so much.
I'll be back tomorrow, right? You know I gotta get him like 5 o'clock. I'm going to Diddy Court. The baby hoes is outside.
Yeah, and everybody follow him. He has some great content. He be at the trial every day. He be up and a whole bunch of energy. I said I need some of his energy.
I'm gonna pop up on you. I'm gonna send you some videos you can upload to your channel, the family, whatever videos you need from me, I'll send to you. You know what I mean?
Okay, awesome.
I'll send you everything I have. Okay, so just know that anything that's mine is yours, right?
Oh, so much. I appreciate this so much. Yes.
All right. God bless you. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll hit you tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. God bless y'all.
God bless you. Bye bye. All right, chat. That was all for this video today. But what we are going to work on probably tomorrow is creating a website through Canva, and it shouldn't be that long. I will have the let me see how long is it so far. It's roughly about 40 minutes also. But we can go through that, and then also hosting some live days, probably every 2 or 3 days. I have actual live because people do like to communicate back and forth. And also, I would love for people to come up, share their experience, ask any questions that they have issues with, so we can all work on this together. And I appreciate y'all showing up and showing me support. At this, on the end of this video,
now your slides are ready to teach.
There's just a little brief outro for you. Okay.
Sell and inspire. From layout to delivery, you've now got everything you need to present with confidence and design with intention. Whether you're going live or staying faceless, your slides now do the talking for you. Up next is part 9, building a website with Canva. We'll walk through how to design a simple, beautiful site, build service or product pages, and publish it, all without code. Subscribe and meet me in the next part. Your brand is about to go live.
Faceless grind, I'm paving my lane. Me 2 times, yeah, we changing the game. Elevate me to you. Vibe is brand new. Built it from scratch, now we teaching you. Hit that sub, let the vision come true. This ain't just content, it's what we do.